Hello, friends, and today the topic of discussion is pronouns. The handout that we will be handling is SCHO 3532002. Please make sure that you have the correct handout. The handout number is SCHO 3532002. So, the first question that comes to mind is what is a pronoun? So, a pronoun is a word that is used in the place of a noun. Noun की जगह जो भी word हम उसे replace करेंगे जिस word से, that is a pronoun. So, any word used in place of a noun is a pronoun. Why do we need to use pronouns? जब noun है तो pronoun की क्या जरूरत? Let us take the following lines as example. Mahatma Gandhi is considered the father of the nation. Mahatma Gandhi was born in Gujarat. Mahatma Gandhi practiced law in South Africa. Mahatma Gandhi returned to India in 1914. Now this becomes repetitive. बहुत बार महात्मा गांधी use हो रहा है, so we find it difficult to listen to, difficult to read, which is why we will replace the proper noun Mahatma Gandhi with the pronoun he. So the sentences then become Mahatma Gandhi is considered the father of the nation. He was born in Gujarat. He practiced law in South Africa and he returned to India. Yeah, he returned to India in 1914. So we have replaced the proper nouns with the pronoun he. Why have we not replaced the first proper noun Mahatma Gandhi? Because that is the one which gives us context. So पहले हमने proper noun use करा, then उसको in the subsequent or consequent sentences we have replaced it with he. Alright. So let's quickly get into types of pronouns. किस तरीके के types होते हैं pronouns के, alright? So the first one is personal pronouns. Now these pronouns you have used in daily life and you are very familiar with it. So we'll quickly go through them. First, second, and third person. So first person is I, second person is you, third person is he, she, or it, right? And then we come to the cases. So cases are basically broadly of four types: nominative, which is the subjective case; accusative, which is the objective case; possessive adjectives; and possessive. So here you can see that we have divided it into first, second, third. We have divided it on the basis of plural, singular. We have divided it on the basis of M, which is for male; F, which is for female; T, which is for thing. I'd like to take your attention to it. It is third person and it is used for things as in non-living objects. So both subjective and objective case में it ही रहेगा, but in possessive adjectives and possessive it becomes its. Now the most common error is that we don't know when to use its and it apostrophe s. What is the difference between its and it apostrophe s? The difference is the first one is possessive and the second is a contraction, a short form of it is. Like you have don apostrophe t, don't is a contraction of do not, right? So if I want to use possessive sense, I will use its. Let's see in the example. The car and its wheels are old. So its is being used for the car ke wheels, right? That's why it is its. And if I want to say it is raining heavily, I can use the contraction it apostrophe s. All right. So the next category is reflexive pronoun. Here the subject and object is the same and pronouns are fixed with the suffix self, right? So for the first one, let's take the example. She taught herself how to drive. So she taught herself, khud ko, right? So her plus self would make a reflexive pronoun. Next one, they killed themselves for no reason, right? Then we have I must help myself become a better person. So here the subject and object is same. So we are using a reflexive, reflects back, right? Reflexive pronoun. The next one is indefinite pronouns. We use the word indefinite when we are not sure about the gender as in male hai female hai, or we are not sure about the number. So let us take an example. Some are born great, some have greatness thrust upon them. So here I don't know whom I am referring to. It can be men, it can be women, it can be many people, it can be a single person. That's why we are using the indefinite pronoun. Some are born great and some have greatness thrust upon them. Since it can be any person, you have the example of anyone as well. Anyone can take a horse to the pond, but no one can make it drink. Here, one is also an indefinite pronoun. It is used when we are trying to refer to any person. So there is no male or female, it is not defined, which is why we can use one. Keep in mind that this is not the number, this is an indefinite pronoun. All right. The next one is distributive pronouns. Here, the pronoun will refer to each individual of a set. Each individual of a set will be referred to, which is why we have everyone has his own problems. all of us, as in all single members of a set, right? Next one is either of these applicants can be employed. So either will mean both, applying to both individuals of the set, right? Either of these applicants can be employed. Neither of the students can get through the examination. Again, neither is for two. Either and neither are always used in cases of two entities. Then we have each of those players deserves a prize. Each single one of those players deserves a prize. Everybody will be given a chance to participate in the match. All of us will be given the chance to participate in the match. Again, referring to each single unit of a set. Neither and none are negative words. None is also a distributive pronoun, and they are usually used in negative context. As you can see in the third sentence, neither of the students can get through the examination. So that's a negative context. Usage of each one of the boys. We usually see that each one of the boys or each one of the students, each one of us, that is used, but that is grammatically incorrect. Now, this brings me to an important point, which is that sometimes in communication, grammar is not followed for the sake of better understanding. But here, since we are preparing for competitive exams and the questions are specifically geared for grammar, we need to understand these small details. So, each already refers to all the members of the set, which is why one is redundant, one is not needed. So grammatically, each should never be followed by one. So instead of each one of the boys, it should be each of the boys, all right? Each can be used in three different positions, as in each can be placed in three different places in a sentence. So the first place is at the beginning. Each of the students got a prize. So her student ko prize mila hai. The students got a prize each. Again, every student got a prize. And third, the students were each given a prize. Now, if you compare statements 1, 2, and 3, the position of each is not changing the meaning of the sentence. In all three sentences, it is very clear that every student has received a prize, right? Which means that each can be used in the beginning, it can be used at the end, it can even be used in the middle, but in all three positions, it will refer to all the members of a given set, right? So three positions of each without changing the meaning, all right? So distributive pronouns, each, either, neither, everybody, we have seen some of them. Okay, let's move to the next category, which is reciprocal pronouns. Reciprocal means there's some relation between two or more than two entities. So let's understand this with an example. The two girls helped each other in every respect. And another example, the students quarreled with one another. So there's a definite relationship between the girls and the students. But in one sentence, we are using each other, and in the next sentence, we are using one another. The question arises, where do we use each other and where do we use one another? So there's a very simple rule that if there are two and only two defined entities in a sentence, then the reciprocal pronoun each other will be used. And if there are two or more than two, if it is suspect that there are more than two entities, we will use one another. Okay, very simple to understand. Let's move to the next, and that is relative pronouns. So again, a sort of relationship between the noun and the pronoun will be seen. Let us take an example. The person who is speaking is our coach. So the noun here is person, and who is speaking, the person who is speaking is our coach. Here, who will become a relative pronoun. Relative pronouns also give you extra information or additional information about the noun in question, all right? So let's take another example. This is the gentleman whose guest I was in Delhi. Again, whose is being used, which is a possessive case of who, right? Whose. So this is the gentleman whose guest I was in Delhi. The underlined words are pronouns and standing for the nouns used before them. So in the first sentence, we have the noun person. In the second sentence, we have the noun gentleman. The nouns are called antecedents and the pronouns that follow are obviously called relative pronouns, right? So you do not need to remember the technical terms. The reason we are doing the categories of pronouns is so that you get acclimatized to the range of words which are possible under the category of pronouns, so that a question doesn't stump you. Like I, you, he, she, it, to koi bhi bata dega. It's very easy that these are pronouns. But when we talk about who, whose, and whom, it gets slightly tricky. So these are relative pronouns. Let's quickly understand. that other relative pronouns include which and that. Who is usually used to refer to people or living things, and which and that typically refer to things or groups. All right. Let's now move on to some rules for the use of pronoun. Rule number one. Some important uses of the pronoun it. As we saw earlier, this is the third person pronoun, and let's just quickly go through some of the places where it can be used. The first one is to introduce a sentence. Example, it is not certain that the president will attend the function. So it is introducing the sentence that it is not certain, yeah, it is uncertain that the president will attend the function. Easy to understand. Second one is to give emphasis to the noun or pronoun that follows. If there is a noun or pronoun which is following it, then it is serving to emphasize that noun or pronoun. Yeah, provide stress to that. Example, it was you who began the fight. I can very easily say you began the fight, but to put special stress that it was you who began the fight. So I'm putting more emphasis on the pronoun which is following. In our case, this is the pronoun. You is the pronoun here. Third one, in sentences showing distance. So if I say it is not far to walk, I am talking about a certain distance, and for that I can use it. You can even add this to introduce a sentence, all right? In sentences indicating time, it is 10 o'clock now. I don't say that is 10 o'clock now, he is 10 o'clock now, right? We say it is 10 o'clock now. It is used to indicate time. It is also used to indicate day. So it is Sunday, it is Monday, it is Tuesday, or months, it is January, it is December. All right. The next one, as a sort of object to avoid repetition. Here we use it to avoid the repetition which is being caused. For example, if we say, let us talk it out, I'm not referring to the issue. Instead, I'm talking about it. So I have actually contracted the sentence into it. So rather than saying, let us talk about the issue, or if I have to explain the issue, I will just say, let us talk it out. So instead of talking about the whole issue or explaining the whole issue, I will just say, let us talk it out. So I'm in effect decreasing or condensing the sentence. All right. So sometimes it is used to make the sentence shorter as well. Two. When two singular nouns joined by and denote the same person or thing, the pronoun used for them must be singular in number. The definite article the is placed before the first noun. So these seem a lot of words. Let us quickly understand them with the help of an example. So the accounts officer and treasurer should be careful in his work of keeping accounts. So if you see, this is the pronoun that we are using, his. His is singular, which means that accounts officer is the same person who's the treasurer. So both the account officer title as well as treasurer title is held by the same person. And as the rule suggests, definite article the is placed before the first noun. So this is the first noun and the is placed before this. So if there are two singular nouns, accounts officer, treasurer, both are single nouns, they're joined by and, then your pronoun has to be singular. All right, let's move on to the next rule. Rule number 3. One can be used to talk about people in general. The pronoun that follows one should be one's, not his or her. So as we saw earlier, one is an indefinite pronoun, right? So because we cannot assume the gender, his or her to aa hi nahi sakta, we cannot assume the gender, which is why for possession we will say one apostrophe s. Let us quickly understand with an example. One should do one's duty. So in British English, we will not say one should do his or her duty. We will say one should do one's duty, which means that there is a difference in American English, and you're right. In American English, one can be followed by his and her. If a sentence begins with one, be sure that you or they does not follow. So now there appears a confusion. एक रूल कहता है कि वन के बाद वन apostrophe s आना चाहिए and the other one says that one के बाद his slash her भी आ सकता है, which means that now we are confused. But for our purposes, we will go for the British English version. We will say one should do one's duty. In case a sentence is followed by his or her, be sure that definitely you or they will not appear in that sentence. Let us take an example. One should never tell his secrets to a gossip monger, which means that you can't say one should never tell their secrets or your secrets. It will be either his or her in American English. But for our purposes, we will be following the British English version, which is we will say one apostrophe s. So here we see an example of American English. One should never tell his secrets to a gossip monger. Not necessary for our purposes, but just because I've used the word gossip monger means somebody who wants to gossip a lot or spreads gossip or talks a lot, right? So one should never tell his secrets to that person. All right. Rule number 4, generally relative pronoun in the objective case is omitted. So if we take the relative pronoun who, the objective case will be whom. So let's take an example with that. The student you wanted to meet is absent today. So I have omitted whom because this is understood. Instead of saying the student whom you wanted to meet is absent today, it is already understood that the student you wanted to meet, as in we are talking about the same person. So whom is not really needed, which is why it is omitted. So the relative pronoun in the objective case is omitted. So instead of saying the student whom you wanted to meet is absent, I will directly say the student you wanted to meet is absent today. So the relative pronouns who, whom, and whose, as we saw earlier, are generally used for persons. So who is used in the nominative case? For our purposes, nominative means subjective. Whom is used in the objective case, as we can see here, and we omitted it. Whose is used in the possessive case, as we saw in the earlier example with the gentleman whose house I stayed at, yeah, whose company I was with in Delhi. Fine, let's take quick examples to understand the usage. Sarita is the student who got an award, so Sarita is the subject, and that's why I've used who. They are the thieves, thieves are the object, whom, that's why I've used the objective case, whom the police caught. And this is the student whose certificates were lost. So the certificates are the possession of the student, which is why I have used the possessive case of who, which is whose. This is the student whose certificates are lost. I hope who, whom, and whose usage is now understood. Which can be used in the following ways. So which is also a relative pronoun. Let's see how many ways or in which ways can it be used. The first one for infants, small objects, small animals and objects. This is the baby which was lost in the theater. So baby is a living thing. So I can use who, but I use which because we don't usually assume the gender of a baby, right? Which is why even when we are talking of personal pronouns, I will use its for baby or small animals. So here this is the baby which was lost in the theater. Second one, when selection is expressed. So which of these books do you want to purchase? So when I'm talking about selection, I will use which. And when I'm trying to refer to a sentence or clause, I will use which. For example, he was said to be incompetent, which is, yeah, which was not true. So instead of saying he was said to be incompetent and this thought of him being incompetent was not true, I will directly use which is a relative pronoun. So it will refer to the previous part of the sentence or previous clause. All right. Rule number 6, that can be used in the following ways. So we've done who, we've done which, now we're doing that. For persons, lifeless things, and small animals in the singular or plural number. For example, this is the boy that failed the exam. So again, we can say this is the boy who failed the exam. This is the boy which failed the exam. There's a slight difference between the usage of that and which we will cover when we are doing questions, all right? This is the book that I bought yesterday. As a substitute for a singular noun already mentioned, example, the weather in Hyderabad is far better than that of Chennai. So instead of saying the weather in Hyderabad is far better than the weather of Chennai, I have replaced that and said than that of Chennai. Alright. So instead of saying weather again, I have used that. Rule number 7, in case of collective nouns, the pronoun is singular. So if a collective noun is being referred to by a pronoun, the pronoun should be singular. For example, the army faced issues during its march in the mountains. So instead of saying the army faced issues during their march, अब army है तो लोग होंगे ज़्यादा, but army is a collective noun, which is why the pronoun is singular, as we can see it's for the possessive, all right? So the army faced issues during its march in the mountains, all right? Now let's move on to the questions. I hope you have your handouts prepared. Let's start. Question number 1. You, Michael, and I must take the blame for the project. Okay. So, what do you think the error is here? In this part of the sentence, must take the blame for the project, this seems fine, which means that there might be a problem with the sequencing of the first, second, and third person. So, the sequence of first, second, and third a person in a sentence depends on the nature of the sentence. What do I mean by nature? Whether the sentence has a positive connotation or meaning or a negative meaning. Okay. So if the sentence expresses a negative idea, the sequence is first person, second person, and third person. And reversely, if the sentence expresses a positive idea, the sequence is second person, third person, first person. So here, in our example or in our question, the nature of the sentence is what? It's negative because I can see the word blame. So we have made some mistake for which we must take the blame. We have made some mistake in the project, right? So it's a negative sentence. So as we have just discussed, the answer should be I, you, and Michael. First person, second person, and third person. So I, you, and Michael must take the blame for the project. All right. Question number 2. None of the Kenyan ethnic groups, not even the Kikuyus, have the numerical strength to dominate over the others. Now we are using the pronoun none here, all right? So if we are using none in the sense of total exclusion, that is a different case. But in this case, we are using it in the sense of not one, right? We are looking at each member of the group in comparison to the others, and the pronoun means not one, all right? And hence, the verb will be singular. Now we're talking about verb. We'll discuss on verbs in our next lecture. But for right now, understand that if the none is being used in the not ones meaning, then the verb should be singular. So the verb here is have. So this should be converted to the singular has. Then the answer becomes none of the Kenyan ethnic groups, not even the Kikuyus, has the numerical strength to dominate over the others. So we will replace the verb from plural to singular. So it will become has. All right. Question 3. It was me who documented the Naxalite movement among the tribals of West Bengal. So I am the speaker of the sentence, which means that the subject is me, right? So when I'm using subjective, then it should be in the case of subjective, which is why it should be it was I who documented the Naxalite movement among the tribals of West Bengal. Since I am the subject, the subjective pronoun should be used. All right. Question number 4. Neither the team leader nor the members of the team has analyzed the situation correctly. As we saw earlier, neither is used in cases of only two entities. So the two entities here are team leader and members of the team, right? It's connected by nor. So what do you think the error is here? So we come across another rule which says that when a singular noun, which is the team leader, and a plural noun, which is members, are combined by or, neither nor, the singular noun usually comes first. So in our sentence, it is first, right? Team leader is first in the sentence, and the pronoun and verb must be plural in number. So the pronoun, if any, or verb, if any, that follows should be plural in numbers. In our case, there is no pronoun available, but we do have the verb has, right? We have the verb has, which is why it should be changed to have. So the correction will be neither the team leader nor the members of the team have analyzed the situation correctly. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. Her house is bigger than that of her relatives and friends. Now, that is singular. Those is plural. This is singular. These is plural. So, if I combine the houses of relatives and friends, it's definitely more than one, which is why my correction should be her house is bigger than those of her relatives and friends. Okay, so I will use the plural form of that. Okay, question 11. We are moving to question 11 now. Every part of Mongolian life is infused with music, and each one of the songs sung by them remind me of a hymn. So, if I have been paying attention, I would know that one should not come after each. So, that's one error for sure. Each के बाद one तो नहीं आना चाहिए. But there might be more than one error. Let's see. So the distributive pronoun each always takes a singular verb. So the distributive pronoun each के बाद जो भी verb आएगा वो singular आना चाहिए. So the verb here is remind, but this is plural. Singular will be reminds. So we should replace remind with reminds. Now it's very easy to get confused because usually when we add s at the end of a word, it becomes plural. But in the cases of verbs, that is not so. Remind is plural and reminds is singular. Okay, you can understand this on the basis of a very simple example. A student enters the class, right? But many students enter the class. So in a verb, the s format is for singular and the sans s or without s format is for plural. So here we have to substitute remind with reminds. Okay. Question number 18. A bunch of thugs in tuxedos that did whatever it wanted have got the waiver of a lifetime. Now, before we move, there might be some of you who don't know the meaning of tuxedos. Tuxedos means a suit, usually combined with a jacket, and have got the waiver. Waiver means, for our purposes, let us assume it's a deal. Waiver is usually when you are getting off or you are getting less punishment or you are getting a deal, right? So here, let's assume it's a deal of a lifetime. Now, bunch is a collective, and then it aa raha hai, which is singular. But here I am talking about thugs. So now I'm talking about all the individual members of the collective. So whenever we break the collective into its individual parts, we have to use the plural pronoun, which is why it should be changed to they. So a bunch of thugs in tuxedos that did whatever they wanted have got the waiver of a lifetime. Because I have broken the collective noun into its individual parts, I will have to change the pronoun to plural. So it will be changed to they. All right. Next question. We're doing question 24. Either of the two sisters who has enacted various roles in our movies will be felicitated tomorrow. Fine. So as we discussed earlier, either already means I'm talking about two. So this here seems slightly redundant. So if I say either of the sisters, it's already understood that I'm talking about two sisters who has enacted various roles in our movies will be felicitated tomorrow. Now sisters are two, but I'm using a singular verb. That's also a problem, which is why sisters, the verb should be plural for sisters, and that's why the correction will become either of the sisters who have enacted various roles. So either of the sisters, I will remove two as two is repetitive. It's already understood there are two sisters who have enacted. So sisters is plural, the verb will also be plural. All right, let's move to the next. Now we are doing question 27. Brendan McCullum, the effort of which was the highest individual score in a 2020 game, was adjudged the man of the match. The meaning of adjudged is what's judged to be. So a panel of judges or a judge decided or gave a verdict, so that is adjudged. Fine. What do you think the error is? So Brendan McCullum seems like a person, right? It seems like a proper noun. But यहाँ पे मैंने which use करा है. लेकिन हमें पता है that relative pronoun for a living thing should be who, which is why I will say the relative pronoun of which is used to refer to things, hence it should be replaced with whose. I am using the possessive case of who, and that will be whose. Brendan McCullum, the effort of whose was the highest individual score in a 2020 game, was adjudged the man of the match. Now, as I said earlier, let's quickly discuss the difference between that and which in another question. So we'll take up another question and we'll quickly discuss that and which because it seems slightly confusing. But for now, let's focus on question 30. The team whom we defeated yesterday are tough competitors. So what do you think the error is here? We must be the subject, right? So we are the subject. The team would then become the object. Objective case of whom is used, which means that there is no correction required. This brings me to a very important point. Whenever you are sitting for competitive exams or if any exam in general, please read the question stem very carefully. They've asked you to find an error if there is an error. Since there is no error in this sentence, you don't have to find it. Just because there were errors in previous sentences doesn't mean that every sentence will have an error. So there can also be questions with no correction required, yeah, no error option. And that can be the answer as we have seen in question 30. All right, let's move to additional questions. So that's the second part of your handout, that is additional questions. Question number 1. V.S. Naipaul's An Area of Darkness that costs 200 rupees is available in all leading bookshops. So V.S. Naipaul is the name of an author and I'm assuming An Area of Darkness is the book because we're talking about bookshops. All right. So what do you think the error is? So the relative pronoun that should be replaced with which because we do not use the former. Former means I'm referring to that. When there are two entities in a sentence and I'm using former and latter later on in the sentence or in the paragraph, Formal will refer to the first entity, and latter, latter, will refer to the second entity, right? Because we should not use that in non-defining clauses. Now, what does that mean? So let's take an example. The products that were old were taken off the shelf, and the products which were old were taken off the shelf. Now, in these two sentences, is there a difference of meaning? In both sentences, products पुराने थे और उनको shelf से हटा दिया गया. Is there a difference of meaning? There is. Because in sentence 1, only the old products were taken off the shelf. So that is used when there is additional information and it is essential information, right? So the products that were old were taken off the shelf means that सिर्फ वही products को हटाया गया है जो old थे, which means that there might be some products still left on the shelf. Whereas in sentence 2, we have used which, and that is again additional information. Which are old is again additional information, but it is non essential. If I remove which from this sentence, if I just say the products were taken off the shelf, it would still mean the same. Because when I say which were old were taken off the shelf, that means all of the products were removed from the shelf. There is no remaining product, which means that which is used when there is additional information but it is non-essential. So if we apply this to the question, V.S. Naipaul's An Area of Darkness, that costs 200 rupees. Now, nowhere in the sentence am I worried about or concerned with the price of the book. I'm just saying that an author has written a book and it is available in all leading bookshops. So even if I remove costs rupees 200, the rest of the sentence will not be affected. It is additional information, but it is non-essential, which is why we will use which. V.S. Naipaul's An Area of Darkness, which costs rupees 200, is available in all leading bookshops. Okay, I hope that's understood. Now we have also covered the difference between the relative pronouns of that and which. All right. Question number 4. The headmaster of the school was upset when he saw all the boys fighting with each other. I think you should be able to answer this question. As we studied earlier, reciprocal pronouns, when there are more than two entities, what do we use? That's right, we use one another. So the answer should be the headmaster of the school was upset when he saw all the boys fighting with one another. All right, now we're moving to question 10. It is them who taught the people the right attitude to life. So, them is actually the subject, which is why I have to use the subjective case. So, they should replace them. So, it should be it is they who taught the people the right attitude to life. It is they who taught the people the right attitude to life. All right. Moving on to question 19, the last few weeks have seen an outpouring of anger against alleged Western media bias that calls for apologies from leading foreign news media and even advocates the boycott of certain foreign businesses with large scale online petitions. So, before we dissect this sentence and look for errors, let's just quickly learn a few words in case we don't know the meaning. Outpouring of anger means that people were expressing anger. Alleged Western media bias. Alleged means something which is not proven but popularly agreed upon, right? So many people think or are of the opinion that Western media has a bias towards something, that they are biased, that they are not reporting with objectivity, all right? That calls for apologies from leading foreign news media and even advocates. Advocates is the word which means supports, encourages the boycott. So, what is the meaning of boycott? Boycott means that we have stopped using or are against the products of a certain company or a place or a person or a public gathering, right? Of certain foreign businesses with large scale online petitions, right? So, now the problem is that this sentence seems very complex and it is very difficult to understand, okay? So the sentence creates ambiguity. It is not clear whether the outpouring of anger calls for apologies or Western media bias. Moreover, it is not clear whether the outpouring of anger advocates boycott through online petitions or foreign businesses. तो ये मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है कि आउटपोरिंग ऑफ एंगर अपॉलॉजीज के लिए कॉल कर रहा है या वेस्टर्न मीडिया के लिए कॉल कर रहा है. आई एम ऑल्सो नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड वेदर द आउटपोरिंग एडवोकेट्स बॉयकॉट through online petitions या through foreign businesses that have online petitions. So to resolve this ambiguity, we must place that after online petitions. So I know that this is getting a little outstretched and a little complex, but let's see the answer and then everything will be clear. So we'll slightly rearrange the words in the sentence, and the corrected sentence will become: the last few weeks have seen an outpouring of anger. So, outpouring of anger against alleged Western media bias. So, now it's very clear that outpouring of anger is against Western media bias. And this outpouring has been expressed through what? It has been expressed with large scale online petitions that call for apologies. Apologies from whom? From leading foreign news media, and these petitions even advocate the boycott of certain foreign businesses. So these petitions also advocate the boycott of certain foreign businesses. So if you've seen the corrected sentence, we have changed advocates to advocate. As we have seen earlier, advocates is singular, but petitions is plural. Petitions is plural, which is why the verb should also be plural. Which is why I have said online petitions even advocate the boycott of certain foreign businesses. So we have slightly rearranged the words to make better understanding, right? To resolve the ambiguity which was created by the question. All right. Moving on to the next one, dash one of them was curious to know about the new installation. So the let's move on to the next question. Question 21, dash one of them was curious to know about the new installation. So this question has a couple of options: some, each, any, and every. Now, if you've paid attention to the lecture, then we know that option 2 cannot be the answer. We just studied that each ke baad one nahi aayega, so 2 cannot be the answer. Some one of them, someone should be then singular, them is plural. Any one of them can be a possible answer, but then it doesn't agree with the rest of the statement. Any one of them was curious to know isn't as good as every one of them was curious to know. So the answer should be every one of them. Now, as we have discussed earlier, each does not take one after that, but every can take one. And also sometimes you can even combine it into one single word. So every one of them can be, everyone can be one single word, right? And it can also be two different words. So every one of them was curious to know about the new installation. All right, moving on to question 22. She helped dash to a slice of cake, right? She helped dash to a slice of cake. The options given are itself, her own, herself, and herself. Now, looking at the options, I can very easily eliminate option 4 because 4 is not a word. Herself is not a word. It does not does not exist in the English compendium, right? So we will go with itself, her own, and herself. Now she helped itself. She is for a person. Itself would mean for a non-living thing. We can eliminate option 1. She helped her own to a slice of cake. Doesn't make sense. Her own what? So the answer here should be she helped herself to a slice of cake. She helped herself to a slice of cake. So the answer is 3. As you can see, the reciprocal pronoun has been used. All right. Question 23. The band of thieves were notorious for dash exploits. The band of thieves were notorious for dash exploits. Now, before we move further, let's apply previous information. So in a earlier question, we saw that bunch was collective. Here, band is collective. Their bunch of thugs in tuxedos was said. And here now we're talking about band of thieves. So now we will talk about all the individual members of the group. So the pronoun, if any, should be plural, right? The options are its, their, theirs, and whose. So its cannot be the answer since this is singular. And we are not talking about possessive, so theirs nahi aa sakta. And similarly, since we're not talking about possessive, whose nahi aa sakta, so the only answer is 2. The band of thieves were notorious for their exploits. For the people who are unaware of the meaning of notorious, notorious means infamous. Yeah, known for the wrong reasons. So they were infamous or known for the wrong reasons. They were famous for the wrong reasons. For what? For their exploits. Exploits here means robberies or big bank thefts that they have done or big thefts that they have done. Okay. All right. The next question, question 24, dash were left at the party past 11 in the night. So our options are few, none, much, and somebody. Now we can eliminate somebody because somebody will take singular and here it is plural. So somebody were left to nahi keh sakte. So option 4 is gone. Again, if we look at option 3, much were left. Much is used in terms of quality and not quantity. So I can't say much were left. I have to say many, right? And since that is not an option, we will remove 3. Let us say go for 1 and 2. So in 2 we say none were left at the party past 11 in the night. Now as we talked about earlier, none gives a sense of negative, right? So it would mean koi bhi nahi bacha party mein. It gives a sort of like notorious, or it gives a sort of creepy vibe, right? And if we put 1, few were left at the party past 11 in the night. Now, few were left means that I was expecting more people to stay. I was expecting many more people, but only few. So, few were left at the party past 11 in the night is the answer. Now, since we have already done articles, if we add a in front of a few were left in the party would actually convert the sentence into a positive light. So, I was expecting less people to stay back, but a few were left means at least some people were left. But if I'm talking about few were left, I mean to say that I was expecting more people. So few were left at the party past 11 in the night. So answer is 1. Had there been an option a few, then that could also have been the answer. But since we do not have that option, the option is 1 and that's your answer. Few were left at the party past 11 in the night. Question number 25. Both the politicians were constantly criticizing dash other. For those who have listened to the lecture, it's very easy to understand the answer. Each, one, every, and some. So, since we're talking about both the politicians, we're talking about two people, so the reciprocal pronoun should be each other. That is why the answer is 1. Both the politicians were constantly criticizing each other. So that is it for our pronouns class. I hope that you were able to understand all the concepts that we discussed, and please go through the rest of the handout, solve as per your discretion. Thank you so much.